How are you, North Central Washington? How are you, Wenatchee Valley? Due to circumstances beyond our control, we're back for another day of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Thanks for starting your day with us here on your local TV station, NCW Life Channel. I'm Dan Kuntz, your host. It is the 8th day of January, 2020. Happy Wednesday. Lots of things going on today. Really looking forward to the back half of this program. I had a chance, Megan, my producer, and I had a chance to go down to the Riverside Playhouse and have a chit-chat with Mike Magnotti, the director of Exit Laughing, and Desiree Schmidt, who is the producer of Exit Laughing. Opening night is tomorrow night at the Riverside Playhouse. We had a chance to see Mike in action directing. We had the nice interview. We got to see a little bit of rehearsals. I was laughing out loud within the first 45 seconds of the play. It's a comedy, and it's a pretty funny one, too, but it's got some poignant moments as well. Exit Laughing, the Music Theater of Wenatchee's winter production, opens tomorrow, and we'll have a chance to visit with Mike and Desiree in the back half of the hour. Getting ready for some snow. Got some updated graphics from the National Weather Service. We're going to have a snow event on Friday afternoon and Friday evening, so get ready for that. Forecast details are coming up. Passes right now are going to be okay for the next 48 hours, and then they're going to get another dumping of snow up in the Cascades. I think the last I saw Stevens Pass in a 48-hour period had something like 36 inches of snow. Whew. It's like an inch an hour. That's a lot of snow. Forecast details are coming up. Past reports, sports. We've got lots of sports to get to. The Mariners, not the entire Mariner team, but the Mariner Caravan came into town yesterday. Eric Granstrom followed them along. We'll have that when we get to sports, plus everything you're used to on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Good morning to you, Charity, checking in from beautiful Cashmere a couple minutes after the hour. Let's take you around the valley with our Valley View cameras. I think we've got some shots we can use today. It's mild, it's high clouds, it's 41 degrees outside of our studios. It has been a very mild start to the new year. That's going to change big time. By this time next week, we'll be lucky to have high temperatures in the teens. Yeah, here comes a major cool down. And right after the snow. Right now it's 41 degrees, a little breezy, northwest wind at 11 miles an hour. But again, this is the calm before the storm. Nice view there from our cross camera as we take a look at the Wenatchee Valley proper. Good work there, Megan. Sun's not going to come up here for a while yet. 7:47 will be sunrise this morning. Sunset 4:28. That buys us 8 hours and 41 minutes of daylight. Yesterday's high, by the way, 40 degrees, and we're already at 41 degrees. It's been very, very warm to start the year. But again, that's going to change. Camera number 2. Where are we off to, Megan? I don't know. She gets to decide. I have to guess. That's looking like Billy Goat to me. Am I right? Hey! Not bad considering you can't really see anything. So that first little batch of lights that you see, I'm assuming is Pateris, and that extra set of lights above Pateris would be Brewster. The Methow River is emptying into the Columbia. Can't quite make that out. We haven't checked in with Billy Goat for a while, again, because Billy Goat is way up there in elevation. I think it's our highest camera when you talk about feet above sea level. Oftentimes this time of the year it's obscured by clouds and fog. Not the case today, so Megan has gone back to a perennial favorite. We say good morning to our friends up in the Okanagan County area. Camera number 3. A little closer to home, oh me, oh my. It's Omi Gardens. Look at the clouds. That's cool. Look at this and go have breakfast. I'm all for that. The Stumo Complex plainly in view. The Wenatchee Valley looks good from our Omi Gardens camera. Pretty much the same elevation as the cross camera, just faces the other direction. Faces to the south. And finally, camera number 4. We are off to see, I'm going to guess Union Valley. Hey, wow, that was a complete out of the lurch guess, and I got it right. Union Valley, high above it. Union Valley is on the, on the north shore of Lake Chelan, looking down on the lake proper. I think that's pointed up the lake just a little bit. Union Valley, we had to move the camera, I don't know, about a year and a half ago. The camera was moved about a mile farther up the lake. It's still a spectacular view there. So Chelan proper would be off your screen to the left, and Manson would be off your screen to the right, and we're looking at the south shore of Lake Chelan on a good-looking Wednesday. It looks like quite a bit of blue sky up there in the Chelan area. All right, good job, Megan, as we wrap up our tour around the valley at 5 minutes after the hour. It is forecast time. I'm going to start out with a couple of slides that the National Weather Service sent down. This is your GFS model for Friday. You can see where we are. You can see that big low pressure. It's going to come right down in. It's packing moisture. What does green mean when you look at that? Green means precipitation. And it's heading, it's right in the bullseye. So we're looking at a significant storm event, potential for some snow. Everybody's going to get snow. The question is, how much snow are we going to get? We have another slide, courtesy of the National Weather Service. This is the potential snowfall for Friday into Friday night. As you can see here in the Wenatchee Valley, we could top off at about 4 inches of snow. The lee of the Cascades is going to protect us. Plain could get over a foot of snow. Winthrop, 8 inches of snow, as you can see. The Cascades, the upper area of our viewing geographical speaking, and then the Spokane area and the Idaho Panhandle, they're going to get most of the snow. South of I-90, really not much at all. Here in the Wenatchee Valley, upwards of 4 inches of snow on Friday afternoon and Friday evening. The Friday afternoon commute could get a little on the dicey side. So yeah, here we go. So from Patriot Plumbing and Heating and Cooling, they give your home a hug. What does the National Weather Service say we're in for? Something like this. Partly sunny today, very mild. Maybe the last chance to go out and get a little golfing in. I don't know. High today of 47. That's close to a record high. We've been very close. We've actually set a record already for the month of January. We've come close a couple more times. That's going to change. Look towards the end of the forecast period. But let's take you through day by day. Partly sunny today, high of about 47. It's going to be windy. Wind is pretty consistent out of the west, about 9 to 16 miles an hour. We can see gusts around 25 miles an hour at times today under partly cloudy skies. Mostly cloudy tonight, no snow, no rain, 26 for the overnight low. Thursday, sunshine, considerably cooler as the first wave comes through. We'll only get up to about 35 or 36 degrees, but again, quite a bit of sunshine on Thursday and a little breezy at times as well. Thursday night, slight chance of light snow. Don't bet on it, 25 for the overnight low. We could get just a skiff of snow Thursday night. And then Friday, things get real interesting. By about 10, 11 o'clock, a little bit of snow. By the middle of the afternoon, it's going to start snowing. It should snow pretty consistently between about 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock Friday afternoon, all the way through about 10 o'clock Friday night. So when it's all said and done, 2, 3, maybe even 4 inches of snow is distinctly possible. We'll be able to really lock in on the expected snow total amount by this time tomorrow. So be sure to tune in tomorrow morning for an updated weather forecast there. But yeah, everybody's going to get snow Friday afternoon and on into Friday night. The snow level's going to hover right around 700 feet, and that's us. So there you go. And then into the weekend we go. Saturday, rain-snow mix possible. Notice how we're going to warm up to about 37 degrees on Saturday. There's about a 30% chance of precipitation, so we could get a little bit of snow melt. And then the Arctic air begins to pay us a visit. Sunday we'll get up to 35 degrees with a slight chance of a little bit of snow. Our afternoon high on Monday, only 27. We'll be in the teens on Tuesday. And right now, if the models are in cooperation and they think they're going to line up that way, we could be in for an extended period of Arctic-like temperatures starting on Tuesday and lasting most of next week. So we're going to get snow on Friday, upwards of 4 inches possible by the time the snow event is over on Friday night. A little bit of snow melt possible Saturday and Sunday, and then a big-time cool down starting Monday and really lasting all of next week. We're going to have some Arctic air come down, and it's going to hang around for a while. So get ready for some cold weather after the snow. Let's take you up to the major mountain passes. The winter weather advisory continues. It'll expire, they tell us, at 10 o'clock this morning. That's a live shot of I-90. Traction tires are advised on Snoqualmie Pass. It is snowing, not real heavy, it's light snow, but you'll find snow and slush on the roadway and on Snoqualmie Pass. Again, there's a traction tire advisory. Stevens looks like a bad X-ray. Traction tires are advised on US 2 Stevens. You got compact snow and ice on the roadway there. It is snowing and it's blowing too, by the way. But again, only a traction tire advisory on Stevens, even though you can't really see anything. Blue Pass, no advisories, no restrictions. The roadway is pretty much bare and wet. You got some light rain and snow coming down on Blewett Pass. So traction tire advisories are up and running for Snoqualmie Pass and Stevens. No advisories or restrictions on Blewett. Again, winter weather advisory remains in effect. It is supposed to expire at 10 o'clock this morning. Snow totals for the passes, 2 to 4 inches today, 1 to 3 inches tonight, 1 to 3 inches Thursday, a couple of inches possible on Thursday night. So the snow totals are going to back way off on what they've been getting until Friday. As we mentioned before, here in the Wenatchee Valley, upwards of 4 inches of snow is a possibility Friday afternoon and Friday night. The mountain passes, 10 to 14 inches of snow on Friday. And then an additional 3, 4, 5, 6 inches of snow Friday night and about 3 to 5 inches of snow on Saturday, and just continual intermittent snow off and on right through the forecast period, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. So the one day to avoid the mountain passes, if you can, Friday. It's going to come down and come down hard in the Cascades. Over a foot of snow expected there. All right, we're going to take a break at 10 minutes after the hour. Come back with your Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday morning news. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley Live this morning from Studio 3 in downtown Wenatchee on the NCW Live channel.
Winter is here, and CVCH wants to give your child a free sled to help them stay active. This January, plan to join us for a free event for the whole family. Free sleds, hot chocolate, and fun. For complete details, visit the CVCH Facebook page or check us out at cvchchillout.com.
Hi, my name is Jim Heinlein, independent agent and owner at Springwater Insurance Group, formerly known as Senior Insurance Services. And we recently decided to make that name change because we're offering so many different other types of insurances in addition to Medicare education and enrollment like we've been doing for 15 years. So if you have questions about Medicare or any other forms of insurances, give us a call at Springwater Insurance Group, 888-2600, or visit us at any of our 5 locations.
We are back. It's 12 minutes after the hour on this Wednesday. Very mild. High clouds, 41 degrees. Mixture of clouds and sun today. We'll top off at 47. Only about 37 on Thursday with quite a bit of sunshine and breezy conditions, and then snow Friday afternoon and Friday night. Here's what's making headlines. A familiar face in local law enforcement returning to the Wenatchee Valley. At last night's city council meeting, the city of East Wenatchee created the position of interim police chief, and Mayor Jerry Lee Crawford appointed former Wenatchee Police Chief Tom Robbins to that post. Robbins replaces Randy Harrison, who retired at the end of last year. Robbins will work under a 6-month contract. It'll pay him about $10,000 a month. Robbins has been in law enforcement for 43 years, including 28 years with the Washington State Patrol and 15 years as Chief of Police for Wenatchee before retiring in 2016. He begins his new job on January 16th. Congratulations to Tom. In other news this morning, Cheland PUD will hold a public hearing on February 3rd on its plans to implement gradual rate increases for most of its customers over the next 5 years. Currently proposed is a 3% annual rate increase for residential, commercial, and industrial customers. Water and wastewater costs would rise 4% per year, and wholesale fiber rates would increase 3% a year. The PUD says customers have expressed an interest in seeing small, predictable increases in rates rather than risk a larger increase in the future. The PUD has not increased residential rates, by the way, in 9 years. The public hearing, again, February 3rd, beginning at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. 2 iconic businesses, one in downtown Wenatchee, one in Cashmere, have changed hands. They're under new ownership. The Owl Soda Fountain and Gifts in downtown Wenatchee on the Avenue has been purchased by Kelsey Alvarado. She was the former baker at Cafe Columbia at the Pybus Public Market. She will operate the business with her mother. Owl Soda, of course, has been a Wenatchee fixture since 1926. Meanwhile, on Cottage Avenue in downtown Cashmere, Patty and Vince Bosket have sold Sure to Rise Bakery to Debbie and Joel Lutton. The Boskets have operated the bakery for the past 33 years. It originally opened in 1947. The Luttons are now the 5th owners of Sure to Rise Bakery. Speaking of business, the Wenatchee Valley Chamber of Commerce's annual banquet takes place on March 5th at the Wenatchee Convention Center, and the Chamber is now accepting nominations for the 2019 Business of the Year and the 2019 Nonprofit of the Year. They're looking for nominations so they can have some finalists. Deadline for the nominations is January 15th, so you're running out of time. The theme of this year's banquet is Take It In. The banquet's presenting sponsor, the Mission Ridge Ski and Board Resort. The banquet starts at 5:30 with a social hour, a dinner, and then the presentation of 3 awards: the Business of the Year, the Nonprofit of the Year, and the Cornerstone Award. Last year's recipients were Cashmere Valley Bank for the Business of the Year and the Chelan Douglas County Volunteer Attorney Services for the Nonprofit of the Year. For more information on the annual banquet, get a hold of Chelsea at the Chamber at 662-2116. And finally this morning, we look through the lens videographer Ben Holton and hear the words of Alan Loebsack about Badger Mountain Ski Hill, that little spot overlooking Waterville. It's a hidden gem, and it's run entirely by volunteers.
Badger Mountain was started in about 1939, mostly volunteers in those days, and kind of through the years it's just always been upgraded by volunteers that invested time and maybe a little personal money in it. Partnerships developed with the Lions Club, who now owns the equipment, and they're the money caretakers, and they, through their community service, provide liability insurance, and that's the reason that they're involved that way. They've been involved in since I was a kid, not big enough to put my hand up on the counter and get noticed by them, so they've been selling burgers here for a long time. $10 for a day pass, and so the money is very seldom a profit. It takes private donations and the like, and a lot of volunteer labor. That's what makes it work.
Couldn't ask for better conditions. I've skied here a little bit in my past, but today is really topping it. So if you get a chance, come up to Badger Mountain.
Yeah, it's cool stuff. Good stuff indeed. And that's what's making news at 18 minutes after the hour on this Wednesday. The crew will be back at it again, getting the news together to keep you in the loop. We like to think an informed viewer is a good thing. That's why we have the news. And with the preview of tonight's news, here's the anchor, Grant Olson.
Good morning, Dan. Coming up tonight on the NCW Life Evening News, we'll introduce you to the new Chelan County Juvenile Court Administrator. I'll tell you about the biggest snowstorm of the season headed our way on Friday, and Eric Granstrom will have a look at local and national sports. That and all the day's news coming up tonight at 5, 6, and 10 right here on the NCW Life channel. We'll hope to see you then. Dan?
Thank you, Grant. We appreciate it. Don't forget, you can also watch the news on demand late in the afternoon. We'll have it up and running and posted it on our website right around 5 o'clock. So if you prefer to consume your news at your own leisure, you don't have to worry about making sure you're home in front of that telly at 5, 6, or 10. You can watch it on demand, again, by going to our website at ncwlife.com. And while you're there, drop us a line. You'll see the Contact Us icon at the upper right-hand corner of their homepage. Click on it, fill out the form. Let us know how we're doing. You can also send us an email, news@ncwlife.com, news@ncwlife.com. We have a Twitter handle, and we have a Facebook page. So go to our Facebook page, like us, give us a big thumbs up. A few more likes, and we get free breakfast, and we like food around here. And you can drop us a line via Facebook Messenger. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we got sports. The Mariners Caravan was in town yesterday. Eric Granstrom followed them along, and he'll have a full report when we come back. Sports is 1 minute away. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley, live from Studio 4 in downtown Wenatchee on the NCW Life channel.
Boating in the Wenatchee Valley starts at Bob File Boats and Motors. See their full line of Crown Line boats. Crown Line features the Forte gel coat, which perfectly accentuates the sporty silhouette of this boat. Its contours are further enhanced by Crown Line's patented fast tab hull design, which not only embraces the distinctive sports car styling, but also ensures a safe and comfortable ride. See Crown Line boats at Bob File Boats and Motors on Sunset Highway in East Wenatchee or online at bobfile.com.
Bob File Boats and Motors,
We're dealing.
Bob File's gonna make you smile.
The Performing Arts Center the mountain bike trails.
When I ride the Loop Trail,
We've all been lifted by the giving generosity of our community.
I think philanthropy is everywhere.
I'm just overwhelmed with gratefulness.
There is such a legacy of giving in this community.
And that's a direct impact on my quality of life.
And we have the duty to kind of do the same thing for our future generations.
We're back at 21 minutes after the hour. Wake up in Wenatchee Valley. I'm Dan Kuntz. The Mariners Care Community Tour was in the big city yesterday. Our very own sports director, Eric Grandstrom, caught up with them and filed this report.
It might be January in the dead of winter here in the Wenatchee Valley and across the Northwest, but it's time to talk about baseball. The Mariners Care Community Tour is here at John Newberry Elementary School today. Players Matt Festa, Austin Nola, and the broadcast voice of the Seattle Mariners, Rick Riz, paid a visit here to talk to the kids. Of course, everybody was upstaged by the Moose. Rick Riz says it's important to get the message of not just the Mariners, but baseball in general out to the youngsters here across the Northwest.
We've got our young players a chance to reach out to the young, fans. Baseball is a generational thing. It's handed down from great-grandparents to the grandparents to the father to the son and to the grandkids, and that's what we need to do. To instill that joy and the love of the game of baseball. So it's so important to reach these kids. I love it when I hear about the success of kids playing Little League Baseball, just to go out there and have fun. Find out what it's like to put on a uniform and go out there and play baseball with your buddies and enjoy the greatest game in the world, still in my mind the national pastime and always will be.
Austin Nola came up with the Mariners last summer and stuck, playing both first base and catcher. He says he has high expectations for this coming season.
I just try to stay ready in every position. I think I really enjoyed doing that last year. It was my first time doing that in a while, ever doing that, catching and then playing first and a little bit of middle infield. So I really enjoyed that. So I'm just going to stay ready in every part and whatever they need me to do, because I'm going to help the team win in any way. That's my goal.
What's the hardest thing about making that step up, not just for catching, but for just going to the major league level?
Yeah, it's the speed of the game is much quicker. There's a lot more preparation involved, and that's fun. That's how you grow. It's how you get better, and especially the catching position, you got to be prepared. You got pitchers to be, responsibility. You got to be able to take care of all them as well and be ahead of the game. So I'm looking forward to that.
For Matt Festa, he's one of many pitchers that's trying to make the rotation this year for the Mariners. He says that this young group of athletes is ready to impress not just the Northwest, but all of Major League Baseball.
My message to the rest of the fans and stuff like that is, just embrace the future, because we have so many young, talented guys. And I'm not even talking about myself. I mean, I love my teammates, and, the group that get called up in September at a AA, like, those are all my best friends that I came up with. To see them be so successful is just awesome, and I'm just pulling for everyone to just kind of click so that we can bring the city a championship.
Besides just making the club, what's your goal for this year for you personally?
My goal is to kind of come out as a leader. I believe that you don't have to be the best on the field to be a leader, but just to hold guys accountable, because it's going to be a growing and a learning process this season, and we're playing in a very tough division, and we're all young guys. So just to have each other's backs and keep confidence throughout the clubhouse, throughout the season, and just grind through with my guys is just what I want to help.
After visiting John Newberry here today, the Mariners are off to Pybus Public Market for an autograph session and to answer questions that Seattle Mariner fans might have about the upcoming 2020 season.
This is a question for all of you. What is your favorite part of being a narrator and a player?
My favorite part of being a player is showing up to the ballpark every day with, like, some of my best friends and just going out there every day and enjoying, the camaraderie and the clubhouse jokes and battling every day. That's my favorite thing.
My favorite thing is my job gets to be play baseball. I don't think there's a better job in the world for me, because I don't have to sit behind a desk or do any of that. I get to show up, and then even in the off seasons, my job is to go work out. It's a great life.
My favorite part of the job is to be around these guys and go to a ballpark. That's my office, looking out at T-Mobile Park. But the greatest part of my job is to be your eyes and your ears and your emotion, and to
make you feel like you're in the front row at Fenway Park in Boston or Yankee Stadium or T-Mobile Park or wherever it is. Try to choose the right words and make you see the game on the radio. After every broadcast, I always say, we'll see you on the radio. Somebody said, what do you mean, see you on the radio? It's radio. No, if I do my job right, and I learned from the greatest announcer in all of baseball, Dave Niehaus, working with David for 25 years, I want you to see the game right here. This is the greatest camera ever invented, and that's your imagination. If you know baseball, you know what a field looks like, and if I can put you there and make you feel that emotion, like in 1995 when Junior was rounding third, when Edgar hit that double and David had that great call, you still get goosebumps over something like that. That's the greatest part of my job, is to convey that emotion, that excitement, and that drama.
Thank you, Eric. That's good stuff. The tour continues, by the way. They'll be in the Lilac City of Spokane today. They'll be in Walla Walla tomorrow. Then they wrap it up Friday in the Tri-Cities. All right, let's take a look at the Les Schwab Prep scoreboard from last night. That is not a misprint. Cashmere dominated Cascade 58-8. Wow. Haley Van Lith, by the way, did not play last night. She sat out. She was banged up a little bit after the holiday tournament in Portland, so they decided to rest her. Also last night, as you see, OMAC edged Chelan in girls basketball, and Tenasket topped Mason. That's the girls. Let's go to the boys from Les Schwab. Cashmere, they finished the first half of the Caribou Trail League play undefeated. They knocked off Cascade 69-50. Sam Phillips pacing the Bulldogs with 17 points. Brother Nate chipped in 15 points. Trey Markard scored 26 points to lead OMAC to a 53-45 win over Chelan. The Goats were led by the 12 points of Cade Christopherson. Chelan coach Jeff Pearl said, and I'm quoting now, "We need to find other ways to score when our perimeter shots aren't falling. Our last two games, we failed to figure out how to do that." End quote. And in B League play, as you see, Manson topped Tenasket boys basketball 54-36. Wrestling mats last night, OMAC edged Cascade 37-32 in Leavenworth. We also know that OMAC topped Okanagan 42-18. Didn't get scores turned in from the Okanagan and Cashmere matches. No for Cashmere and Cascade. Don't know. If you know, let us know. Also on the Les Schwab Prep Wrestling scoreboard, Sela, no problems with Quincy, winning 63-6. And finally, girls bowling. Yesterday, both Wenatchee and Eastmont defended their home alleys at Eastmont Lanes. They swept aside Moses Lake and West Valley, respectively. The Panthers improved to 7-2 with the win. Eastmont moves into second place at 6-3. And by the way, congratulations to Kyla Hankins. She was the WIAA Player of the Week last week. She had a 209 average, leading the Big Nine. And those are just some of the games that people are playing on this Wednesday. It's 28 minutes after the hour. And let's move forward with today. No, wait a minute. We got the Obscure Holiday. The Obscure Holiday on this 8th day. Dust off your rubber ducky. Yep, it's Bubble Bath Day today. National Bubble Bath Day today. Bubble baths themselves have been popular since people decided personal hygiene was important. Bubble baths are more of a newer in popularity ever since they came up with the kind of soap that makes bubbles. Bubble baths have been popular. Of course, we associate them with the kids. I think all of us remember bubble baths from our childhood. But when was the last time you had a bubble bath? I can't remember the last time I had a bubble bath. It's been a long, long time. One of the nice things about bubble baths specifically is that the bubbles themselves act as an insulator, and so the water stays hotter longer. So you can just soak in that tub and play with the bubbles until you just turn into one big prune. I don't need to tell you how to celebrate National Bubble Bath Day. Take a bubble bath. It's as simple as that. Yeah, rubber ducky. You got to have your rubber ducky to play in there too, you know. 29 minutes after the hour. Today in history, Article 2, Section 3 of the United States Constitution says this: "He shall from time to time give to Congress information of the State of the Union and recommend to their consideration such measures as he shall judge necessary and expedient." In other words, the State of the Union. It was on this day, January 8th, 1790, 230 years ago today, that George Washington delivered the very first State of the Union address to the Congress assembled in New York City. He gave it verbally, as did the next one down the line, John Adams. But Thomas Jefferson was such a poor public speaker, he decided to give his State of the Union report to Congress in writing. And for the next 100 years or so, that's how it was done until Woodrow Wilson brought back the tradition of actually speaking in front of a joint session of Congress, and it's been that way ever since. Every member of Congress can bring one guest to the State of the Union address. They have to sit up in the gallery. The president can bring 24 guests. They get to sit up there with the First Lady. The Speaker of the House gets to bring 24 guests. The seating for the senators and the congressmen is first come, first serve. You just crowd in there and grab a seat whenever you can, except, of course, members of the cabinet, members of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, and members, justices of the United States Supreme Court and the Diplomatic Corps. They get reserved seating, and since 2011, they sit regardless of party. They used to divvy up strictly by party, but after the shooting of Representative Gabrielle Giffords in Arizona in 2011, it was suggested that all the Republicans and Democrats sit together as a group, and they've been doing that ever since. The very first State of the Union address happened on this date 230 years ago. January 18th, 1815, the Battle of New Orleans. Under the leadership of General Andrew Jackson, American forces defeat the British in the Battle of New Orleans, even though the War of 1812 was over. They didn't know. The Treaty of Ghent was signed on December 24th the year before. Unfortunately, the two parties involved in the Battle of New Orleans, the Americans and the British, they weren't informed that the Treaty of Ghent was signed and the war was over, so they kind of kept going at it anyway. They didn't know about the treaty. Anyway, it made Andrew Jackson a national figure. Happened on this day 205 years ago today. And January 8th, 1835, 185 years ago today, the United States national debt was zero. For the only time in our history on this date in 1835, we didn't know anybody anything. I checked this morning. About an hour ago, our national debt, 23,166,403,958,000 and it's gone up even when I spoke that sentence. The picture that you see behind me is the United States Treasury Department building in Washington, D.C. I thought I'd throw that up because that's the building that has nothing in it. We sure like spending money that we don't have. It's an American tradition. And that's today in history. And finally, birthdays. Elvis would have been 85 years old today. Absolutely one of the half dozen most significant cultural icons of the 20th century. Ironically enough, over this past weekend, I listened to a lot of Elvis, not even remembering that Elvis's birthday was coming up. The king of rock and roll, no question about it. Elvis Aaron Presley, born in the state in 1935, died at the age of 42 in 1977. There's not much more you can say about Elvis. In the end, it's all about the music. We lost Stephen Hawking, of course, last year. He was born in the state of 1942. Gravitational theorems, general relativity, black holes, radiation. He was really smart, a lot smarter than me, anyway. Stephen Hawking, born in the state in 1942, died last year at the age of 76. David Bowie was born in the state in 1947. We lost David 4 years ago at the age of 69, inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 1996, the great legendary David Bowie. I listened to some of his music over the weekend as well. And Kim Jong-un, the supreme leader of North Korea, is 36 years old today. We think. He actually has 4 different birthdays. I kid you not. According to the North Koreans, Kim Jong-un was born on January 8th, 1982. The South Koreans say he was born on January 8th, 1983. The Americans say he was born on January 8th, 1984. And he went to school in Switzerland, and according to the Swiss records there, he was actually born on July 5th, 1984. When you run your own country, you can make your birthday whenever you want. 34 minutes after the hour, everyone's entitled to Mike Magnotti's opinion, and then Mike will be right back, along with Desiree Scott, to talk about Exit Laughing. Before we do that, I got to remind you about Campbell's one more time. It's going on. Yep, the destination deal is happening. All you got to do is prove you're local, and you can get a room at Campbell's Resort, right at the head of Lake, right at the bottom of Lake Chelan. A beautiful resort, a great time of the year to visit Campbell's. You can avoid the crowds. Go to the wineries, go to the nice restaurants, do a little shopping, just hang out and chill and relax up in Chelan. And if you're local, you can get a room at Campbell's Resort starting at just $95 a night. How long they're going to extend this, I don't know. So there you go. All right, now we're going to take a break. Come back with Mike Magnotti, not once but twice, his opinion, and then my conversation with Mike and Desiree about Exit Laughing. Both of them coming up right after this. You're watching Wake Up in Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Live channel.
Is search engine optimization right for my business? Maybe. Studies show the first and second search results get 50% of all the clicks. But you have to fight national chains to get there. If the user has to scroll down to find you, tough luck. You could hide a dead body on page 2 and the whole zombie apocalypse on page 3. Or you could spend less and get an ad in the Impact Big Print phone book, giving local businesses a chance to shine.
Impact Directories. Bigger print, better book.
AC Checker has new owners who put customer service first. When you have to get there on time, call fast, friendly, reliable AC Checker, 663-TAXI. AC Checker has the industry's only on-time or it's free guarantee. Conditions apply. Call AC Checker, 663-TAXI to schedule your cab or schedule online at acchecker.com. Call American Classic Taxi, 663-TAXI. That's 663-8294.
You don't have to be a member to enjoy the view and dine in style at Highlander Bar and Grill in East Wenatchee. Open 7 days a week, Highlander Grill offers breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Dine in or take it to go, our friendly staff is here to serve you. Reservations recommended for Friday night's prime rib dinner. Call for live music dates. Hi, I'm Shalane, site coordinator for Highlander Grill. Give me a call to schedule your event today.
Coming home should never be a chore. Let Merry Maids of Wenatchee customize all your cleaning needs. Weekly, bi-weekly, special occasion. Do you have a vacation home that needs cleaning? We clean them too. Locally owned and operated, let Merry Maids do the cleaning while you focus on your family and friends. Merry Maids has special offers to fit your budget. Request your free cleaning estimate today, 509-663-1710.
Hey, this is Mike Magnotti, and everybody is entitled to my opinion. Now, we have one of those Amazon Alexa things in our house, in the kitchen. We yell at her to play music. I like the blues. Rosie likes to play easy jazz and bossa nova. I wish she got that, I don't know. But we tell, we tell Alexa to put stuff on our shopping list all the time. It's pretty cool. We say, Alexa, put, eggs on the shopping list, and she does, okay? It's pretty cool, actually. But when my son Tony was home visiting this summer, he put his hat over the Alexa device, and he told us that he didn't believe we'd have one of those things in our house. When I asked him why, he said, this thing was just letting Jeff Bezos and Homeland Security listen into our private conversations. Well, I told him, look, if Jeff Bezos and the government really wants to listen to Rosie and I arguing about who's going to do the dishes or what kind of pizza we're going to order, they are more than welcome. This is Mike Magnotti, and that's my opinion.
I'm Jake Carpenter, Vice President of Investor Relations for Equilus Group Incorporated and Equilus Capital Partners. We deliver solutions to challenges like how to use your retirement accounts to safely access income-producing real estate to avoid market risk, and how to defer capital gains tax without using a 1031 exchange. Discover your real estate and investment potential at Equilus. Call me today at 509-460-8700.
Badger Mountain Brewing is proud to announce the grand opening of our new kitchen. Come try out our new menu featuring fabulous steaks, prime rib, gourmet burgers, and seafood grilled up by experienced meat master Chef Galen Goodman. To complement your mouth-watering meal, Badger Mountain Brewing features 14 in-house crafted beers, an alcohol-free root beer infused with 11 different herbs and spices, 3 different ciders, and a great wine selection. Don't miss out on the best meats and the best brews down at Badger Mountain Brewing, located at 1 Orondo Avenue across the tracks from the Pybus Market.
And we are back here at Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. The Music Theater of Wenatchee organization has a calendar, so to speak, and every winter they put together a little comedy. And this year, the comedy is going to be called Exit Laughing. It's just 5 cast members. It's going to be hilarious. It's going to be a lot of fun. Opening night is coming up right around the corner. The man to my far left is no stranger to our television station. He's our good friend, Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, the host of Street Talk and other stuff. And Desiree Schmidt is the producer of this show. Mike is the director. And again, it's called Exit Laughing. And here we are at Riverside Playhouse on this lovely brand new couch, which was
It was brand new about 100 years ago.
About 100.
It's a 20s couch, is what it is, you know. So.
Mike, it's good to see you. Desiree, it's nice to meet you.
Yes, thank you.
As we sit here tonight, you're going to have a full run-through rehearsal. Everybody will be ready to go come opening night. Michael, for the uninitiated, how did this show come to be as a music theater production?
Oh, I'll tell you, I have been looking for this script for years. Okay, we have a real great swath of very talented people here in Wenatchee, acting-wise, theater-wise. But there's one segment of that population that's underused, and that's women of what I like to say of a certain level of maturity. Okay, and I've been looking for a show that had roles for women like this, but was also a comedy, because I've never directed a comedy before, and I was time to let that talent dam burst forth. So I found Exit Laughing. It's just, this show is a riot. Okay, this show is funny. And as soon as I read it, I said, yeah, baby, this is the show. Because it's just very funny. It's 4 women who go through a life-changing experience, so to speak, and 3 of them are dealing with it. And the challenges that they face and how they respond to it is what the play's about. But the play's really funny. There's a couple of other characters. One of the women has a daughter who is a drama major, and baby is she, and they actually commit a minor crime for which the police show up. So anytime there's a cop in the show, you know it's a good one, okay? You know.
You had to sell this show to the board, right?
Yeah, we
How
did.
did that-
We, Desiree and I put together
Talk about that process.
Yeah,
You
we
put together a proposal. Go ahead, Desiree.
Right. Yeah, you go ahead.
How did you
can
sell
tell about how we
how did you
screwed up.
sell Exit Laughing to the board to say this is what we want to do, and the board said, go get them? How did that process work?
Yeah, well, basically, Mike just shared the storyline, and that the theme of the show really centers on relationships and lasting friendship. And we just felt like there was a real need for that message in the Valley and in today's society. And Mike just sold the thing, and they really grabbed it up.
Yeah, but we do have to put together a proposal. You know, how many shows we want to do, what the estimated costs are going to be, what the budget's going to be for props, costumes, and a lot of that, frankly, is just guesswork. And one of them I guessed wrong. I guessed wrong on the royalties, and it was about, 3 times as much as I thought it was?
Let's not go back
It
to that
happens.
one.
Well, royalties, normally the biggest expense when it comes to royalties is copyrighted music. Is there any there's no music in this?
Yes, there is.
Okay. Oh, there you go.
There is one song
Okay.
that, we'll just leave it at that.
We'll leave
It's
it at
very entertaining.
We'll leave
Yes,
it
it
at that.
is. Oh, it's great.
So,
It's great.
so you sold the show. Music Theater said, go get them. Desiree and Mike, you're a team. Next step, casting. Did you have some of the people who are going to be in this play, and there's only 5, Sue Lawson immediately jumps to mind. She's a legend
Yeah, she was
in
great.
theater here. I mean, did you have a general idea of who you wanted for each role? It was
No,
like-
no, not at all. I
Talk-
knew, like I
talk
said,
about the casting
I
process,
know
Mike.
there was a number of women who, I hope would try out. Actually, we didn't have all that many people try out, not as many as I liked, but it was right in the middle of a period where they were casting the Old Time Radio show. They were also casting something else. I can't remember there was another show going on. So people were really torn, but we got the cream of the crop of the people who were trying out. It was a little bit of a struggle to cast the male role, just due to the nature of the character. Let's just leave it
What
that
is the
way.
nature of the character
Well, the
that
character,
Mr. Pippin is going to be
no,
playing?
I'm not going to give that away.
Okay, that's fine. You got to watch.
But I went to my good buddy Matthew Pippin, who I actually think is the best actor in town, and I said, "Hey, Matthew,
Very
you want to do it?"
talented.
Yeah. But he said, "Yeah, but you got to understand, I leave for Vietnam on my vacation with my husband 6 hours after the show closes."
Exactly.
And I said, "Okay, so you won't be there for the cast party?" I said, "I can deal with that. That's fine." So,
That was the deal that you made?
well, no, he wanted to do it, but he's doing a great job. And he and Marie Scanlon, who I'm not supposed to mention is my daughter.
No nepotism here.
There really isn't.
No, not at all. Actually, when she read, we hadn't intended to cast her, but she was the one who read the best. She was filling in because she was originally going to be my assistant director. But she just did a great job with the reading. And so, but there's real good chemistry between her and Matthew. The 3 women, the main, Sue Lawson, Bonnie Van Hoven, and Lisa Francois. I mean, very good chemistry between them. You can really tell that they're close.
And as you mentioned before, there's only 5 characters on stage, but there's really a 6th character
Yes,
that
there
brings
is.
this whole play together, right?
Yeah.
Give us a brief, if you can, Michael, without giving away anything, a brief plot synopsis so people have a general idea of what Exit Laughing is about.
Well, basically, the major change that happened is one of these 4 women has passed away, and this is the day of her funeral, and she'd been cremated, and one of the gals brings the cremation urn with her, so that's kind of what brings the tension to the story. But what's interesting about the urn, which isn't really part of the play, is that we didn't have one and we needed one. And I told Des to find one, and then one day I told Des, don't bother, because Sue Lawson walked in with one. She said, I went to the funeral home today, and I need a cremation urn for when I'm ready to go. And they were showing me stuff that was real expensive. I said, this stuff, I want something ugly. So they bring her in the back room, and they bring out this tawdry thing that looks terrible. And Sue says, that's the one I want. But not only that, she's going to keep it when the play's over, and it's what she's going to use when her time comes. So and we're going to talk about, I don't know when you're going to run this show, but Sue and Bonnie are going to be on my show Monday.
Okay.
Monday, what day is Monday?
I don't know.
The 6th, okay.
It's coming up.
2 days before we open up, 3 days before we open up.
Are you ready? I mean, you're going to do a complete run through tonight as we tape this at Riverside.
Okay, yeah, we are. There's still a few glitches, but that's normal for this point. What we really need is an audience, because this being a comedy,
the actors need that feedback.
yeah, they do. I tell them, don't play for laughs, play for believability. But the stuff is so funny. And if you don't get that feedback, that doesn't give you the energy. But when we do family night, Wednesday night, Wednesday the 8th, when we have an actual audience of more than 2 or 3 people here really responding, that is really going to spark it, and this show is going to take off.
Desiree, do you Mike make a pretty good team? I mean, you kind of got. Is this a shotgun marriage? I guess is the way to put it.
Basically, I was forced into it. No,
I called her up and lied to her.
He did. He told me that he couldn't think of anybody better, and I'm like, what do you want me to do?
True story.
No, he is absolutely one of the best directors I've worked with. We were actually cast members in Little Shop of Horrors last fall, and I adore Mike. He is he's funny, he's so agreeable, and just basically lets me do whatever I want, which has come up at least
just like at home, honey.
No, at least half a dozen times today. I run this by him, whatever you want, Des, whatever you want. And it's a really, really wonderful production marriage.
Is there a lot of challenge from a director's standpoint? What Michael has to deal with is a lot of dialogue, small cast, small set. It's this kind of play. From a producer standpoint, it sounds like you don't really have a lot to do.
Oh, Mel.
I'm just saying.
Is that what it sounds like?
I'm just saying.
Then I'm really underselling it. The producer's job, which this is my first time stepping behind the scenes and being off stage, so this is a new role for me, but I'm good at managing details and lots of moving parts. And something about me in working with me as a cast member in Little Shop just struck Mike, and
I knew, I got an eye for talent, and I knew this gal. No, being the producer is actually the hardest job of all.
Because it's detail,
Right,
organization,
right.
spreadsheets,
Right.
budgets,
And
and you get to be creative.
And it's stuff I don't do, but she's got to arrange for the tech people. She's got to arrange for all this stuff on the set, even though other people did it. She's the one who got the people to do that. She works with the costumer, and one of the biggest cool things about this show is going to be the absolute end that I haven't seen yet, but that's Desiree's contribution artistically to this, and I'm really looking forward to it. And you come to see the show, and you'll see what I'm talking about. It's at the absolute end of the show. So.
And it's hysterical.
Yeah.
It is so funny, and it's such a joy. I mean, I go to a lot of theater in town. The talent's incredible, and we've got that talent right here on the stage at Riverside Playhouse, but what we don't see a lot of, like Mike was mentioning earlier, is that older demographic. And so, our cast members are mature women, and they're friends off stage, and the chemistry is real natural, and they're absolutely legendary in this town in terms of their theater contributions. So it's a real pleasure.
Desiree, I've asked Mike this question, but I haven't asked you this question. How do you account for this incredible theatrical community that we have in North Central Washington? And not just music theater, but short Shakespeareans. There's dozens I could list off the top of my head. I don't have time. But this is a stunningly incredible community when it comes to live theater from
really
all
is.
aspects.
Yeah,
How do you account for it?
It's a little of a mystery to me. I do think that the amount of opportunities available is really plentiful in the area. I know when I've shown up for auditions, I look around and think, my goodness, to share the stage even in an audition with some of these people is a true honor. There are professional caliber, talented people in this town. I could list off 3 dozen of them by name, and I think that just having the opportunity to be on stage, and it's not just the stage actors, the crew. I mean, these people are top notch. We have
yeah, thank your crew. You might as well. You're the producer.
We have nationally recognized crew that's working on this production, and it's such an honor. Like some of the things they do, it blows me away. It really is just a mecca of talent in terms of theater in this town. I mean, goodness, we went and saw Nutcracker recently, and even the kids in this town are just outrageously talented. So it just carries on into the
And
adult
that's the
theater.
key, isn't it? I mean, when you talk about what Cynthia's doing at Eastmont and what Paul and Kelly are doing, and all the other people are doing at Wenatchee High School, getting these kids up on stage at a young age, the lights, the grease paint part. Sorry about the stereotypical thing. The kids are on stage and thinking, I can do this. I can, and it plants that seed. And they get to be as well. For instance, you're in your late 30s, and here you are in theater. And Mike's pushing 80, and he's still doing theater.
I mean, it's pushing it pretty hard.
Pushing it pretty hard. But I mean, that's really the key, isn't it? That magic moment, that epiphany that this is cool.
Yeah, the people. Yeah, I mean, my granddaughter's experiencing that now. She's 13. She's been in a couple of shows. She doesn't want a speaking role yet. But she is an up-and-coming talent, you know. And my whole goal to stay alive now is to be able to direct her in a show someday.
Yeah, you know, it's really wonderful because there are lots of social connection outlets for lots of different types of talented people. You know, we have kids in, you know, sports and robotics and language and all kinds of things, but theater is not neglected in town. We have, you know, vocal artists, performing artists on the stage in dance and theater and plays. And I mean, it really just is a place where kids who might not feel like they fit in other places really fit with theater, and that carries on to the adults too. You know, it's a real community feeling. When a cast comes together, it really becomes a family, and that's how I refer to our cast. And any cast that I've ever been associated with, it's our cast family. And it really is, it's a closeness, just as though you're in your own home. The Playhouse is our home for the run of the show.
You know, there's one thing, you know, you talked about starting acting when you're early. I remember when we were in high school, you know, music and theater guys were kind of looked at as the geeks by the jocks. Well, my question is this: how many of you are still playing football?
Good one.
A couple more questions, and I'll cut you loose because I know you got to rehearse. Does the average Joe out there have any idea the kind of time and effort that all of you people are putting in to put on this show
No.
without any recompense whatsoever? Nobody's getting paid a dime.
Actually, there is small stipends for some of us.
For some of them, but for the most part, these guys are doing it out. You're all
and
doing
I'm
it
sure
out
she's already spent whatever stipend she's going to get.
I saw her Jaguar in the parking lot.
No, I mean on stuff for the show.
Oh, okay.
You know.
But do people really understand the passion that you guys are?
No,
the hours and hours and hours of rehearsal and time and planning.
I've been working on this for more than a year.
Yeah.
I started. Yeah, it was just about almost a year ago when I started actually blocking this show.
Yeah.
Getting down and getting the movement together and that kind of stuff. And we had our first production meeting.
I want to say it was April.
Like in April, yeah, something like that. So, and that's fine. I mean, you don't really want, you know, it's just, I mean, it's a labor of love. We love it. This is fun. I mean, this is lifeblood to us. But no, people really don't, a lot of work goes into this. And my cast, when you come and see the show, the line load these gals have has been tremendous, okay? And they have worked really hard. And it's yeah, you're gonna be impressed, trust me. You're going to be impressed.
Well,
and you're going to laugh, okay?
That's
it
the
is
key.
funny.
I mean, the show is called Exit Laughing, so you have a certain bar that's already been set.
Oh, I'm
Mike.
not, you know, we're going to.
I mean, the show is called Exit
will
Laughing.
surpass.
It's not called May Cause Diarrhea. You know, it's you have a certain level you have to achieve, right?
Oh, we're going to get there.
Okay.
Oh, no,
Absolutely.
I got no. When I first read this script, I said, oh, no way. This is going to rock it. People are going to die. And see, that's the thing about a comedy. Buy your tickets, because sometimes tickets don't sell real fast. But when a comedy starts going, everybody wants to come. And every comedy I've been in past 2 years has sold out, and people have missed out, okay?
don't do that, okay? Get your tickets now. So,
Mike, I'll give you the last chance. And Desiree, sell your show, Exit Laughing, opening night, closing night, tickets, all the stuff that people need to know.
Yeah, you know, Wenatchee just is needing a theater performance that's going to make us laugh, make us feel lighthearted, and come together as a community. And I'm telling you what, this show is hysterical. You will bust your sides open and blush, and that's about all I'm going to tell you about that. But just come and see the show and tell your friends about the show. It's really exciting, and support your local entertainment.
Yeah, tickets are available at Numerica Pack. You can go right there. It brings you, get tickets, you'll see. Our opening night is Thursday the 9th. We run that Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. The following 2 Thursday and Friday Saturdays, and there's a 2 o'clock matinee on Sunday, January 19th.
Last question, because I've been to a lot of live theater from all levels, and I've enjoyed all of it. Opening night and closing night. Which do you prefer as a director?
Both.
Both.
Yeah.
Okay. Desiree.
I mean, opening night you're like this.
Yeah.
And closing night you're like this to make sure they're going to just come through as they always
Desiree,
have.
same question. Opening night or closing night? What do you prefer?
I typically attend both. It's my daughter's involved in theater as well with Stage Kids and WHS Presents, and it's awesome to see a show at the beginning of its run. When you see it at the end, you can tell that a lot of bugs have been worked out. You know, the characters are getting really comfortable with an audience, and I'm certain that that's going to happen with this show. I personally would say get your tickets for early in the run and end of the run for sure.
There you go. Exit Laughing is Music Theater Wenatchee's winter production. Michael, it's always good to see you. I'll see you hanging around the station as usual. Desiree, it's nice to meet you.
Thank you.
Sorry
nice to meet you as well.
Sorry about you getting tied in with Magnotti. I mean, that's your cross to bear. Not mine,
Yes.
All right. Exit Laughing. Check it out. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. We'll be right back.
They may not be from you, but they're a part of your family. For many reasons, not all children are being raised by their parents. Are you a family member who has stepped in to help raise grandchildren, nieces, or nephews? Whether court-ordered or not, Aging and Adult Care may be able to assist you with many needs. Kinship Care helps keep family and community ties together. Learn more about Kinship Care by contacting Aging and Adult Care of Central Washington, working together for a better quality of life for all. It's estimated that 1/3 of Americans do not have a financial plan. At D.A. Davidson, their advisors are working to change that because they understand the importance of planning for the future. At D.A. Davidson, they believe in partnering together to build a strategy tailored to your needs. They spend the time and have the knowledge to help keep your financial future on track. Let D.A. Davidson Financial Advisors of Wenatchee put the strength of advice to work for you.
And welcome back. A couple minutes to go in this program, that all-important weather forecast. Let's start out with a couple of graphics sent to us, courtesy of our friends at the National Weather Service. There's the model that we're looking at on Friday. Again, green means precipitation. You can see that big low pressure ridge that's over upper British Columbia. It's going to slide right down into our region overnight on Thursday into Friday. By Friday mid-morning or so, we could get a little bit of snow. And by Friday afternoon, it is going to snow. How much snow? By the time this event is over on Friday night, take a look at the next graphic. There you go. Take a look at where you live here in the Wenatchee Valley. Upwards of 4 inches is a possibility. We'll have a more accurate idea of exactly how much snow we're expecting Friday afternoon and Friday night by this time tomorrow, so be sure to tune in for that. But we could get up to 4 inches of snow, as you can see. Some of the upper elevations in Plain, a foot of snow in Plain. Yeah, it's going to happen. Let's take a look at it one more time. We'll take you through day by day. Beautiful day today. Partly sunny, 47 degrees, a little windy at times. Cloudy tonight, 26 for the overnight low. Lots of sunshine Thursday, and a high near 36 Thursday night. Maybe a spittle of snow Friday. We're going to see some snow, especially Friday afternoon into Friday night. Again, 3, maybe even 4 inches of snow possible for the Wenatchee Valley. Heavy snow expected in the mountains of both the Cascades and the Idaho Panhandle. And wouldn't you know it, once we get through the snow event on Saturday and Sunday, we get really cold. Arctic air is going to slide down and hang around most of next week. And that's it for this Wednesday edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.